This edition of the Squared Circle podcast is dedicated to the memory of Terry Funk, who passed away earlier today, August of the 23rd. Our thoughts, prayers, and condolences go to the friends and family. Rest in peace, Funker. Terry Funk, 1944 to 2023.
You know, that could have been awkward. Do you know why that could have been awkward?
Why could that have been awkward?
Because it was only at the last split second before it suddenly came out from saying wrestling chat for wrestling fans in the intro that I realised I hadn't put us onto the video.
Oh, wow.
So we would have just come back into a blank screen with just our names and nothing else, and then we could have made an appearance. That's a way of kicking off the show.
Hello, fans.
Hello. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. G'day. Wherever you are in the world. Andy Evans here, of course. Joined as always by my tag team road agent partner. He is, of course, Sam Mellows, the dog father of professional wrestling podcasts. I am, of course, the king of wrestling trivia. Hopefully, we'll find out tonight. And this is the go home show for All In. Because if you don't realize, this Sunday at Wembley Stadium, we are going all in, and that's exactly what we're doing tonight right here on the show. Sam, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing really good. First day back at work after having a week off from work. Was a bit crazy. Did 18,000 steps within 5 hours, but I'm good. Anything? It's helped me. Getting my ready steps for a Sunday to do all the walking I'll be doing around Wembley and Wembley Park and all stuff like that.
Hang on, we're not doing that much walking. We're literally parking about 9 minutes walk away from the venue. We're going to walk to we're going to the all you can eat, aren't we? Which means that
we are, and I'm going to walk back and forth about 10 times, and that's just the starters. That will be documented on the road agents, don't you worry. I will make everyone have food envy or maybe disgust.
I am not walking with the phone, filming what I'm having for my lunch, my dinner.
Oh, no. It would just be at the table and then done.
What I do want to do, because, we'll talk more about road agents a little bit later on, is if we're in there, I want to see how many AEW t-shirts are in that venue.
Absolutely. It's not everywhere, because you think to yourself, who's really want to go when there's a massive event on? Not many people. No. So hopefully we can probably start a few chants on there.
Not many people, just 80-odd thousand mad wrestling fans.
Oh, no. As in people who aren't wrestling fans.
Yeah. Exactly. What we do know, because I appeared on his podcast this past week, which is Mike Maguire's Maguire on Wrestling, is Dave Meltzer will be at All In. He's taking part in a Hooked on Wrestling live Q&A event with Brian Alvarez in the morning of August the 27th at Box Park. So if you're there, tickets are still available for that Hooked on Wrestling event. And if you want to hear more about what I think about All Elite Wrestling All In and the full preview, not really a preview, more of a conversation, check out Maguire on Wrestling, available now on wherever you download podcasts from, Spotify, Amazon, wherever.
And I'm not just saying this because we're associated with him. Seriously, incredible podcast. The guy is superb. He's the best in North America, just like we're the best in the world. No. Honestly, the guy's voice is golden. So's his product. I would never try and be saying we're better or worse than him. We are on par in different ways, but man, was it a great podcast. And the fact of the discussion with Dave Meltzer, superb.
Well, next week is going to be an interesting one, because next Sunday, when he releases the next episode, it's Ask Meltzer Anything. Now, Sam, you've put a question in to Dave Meltzer on behalf of TSC, and I've put a question in, as well as our esteemed former owner, Lee, our good friend, Lee, and I both put the same question in to Dave Meltzer. So hopefully they will be asked in the Ask Meltzer Anything segment. But that is Maguire on Wrestling, available now. Check it out on podcast. You can listen to Mike and I chatting all about All Elite and a very interesting conversation about how the UK fans have reacted to the card build-up in Tony Khan. So we'll get into that as well. Now, if you want to get in contact with us throughout social media, you can do. All you need to do is head over to Facebook, Instagram, X, or Threads at TSC Wrestling Pod. You can, of course, watch us as you are right now on YouTube, or you can watch us on Spotify, because we are now a Spotify video cast. You still... Yeah, this is why we have faces for radio, Sam, for anyone who's...
No, I just find it amazing. Like, literally, this is the way forward. Guys, if you're listening in, give us a watch. Like, why wouldn't you want to see our two beautiful faces? They're amazing. But
mine.
And mine-ish. I look like a thumb. I know.
I look like I'm in scrubs. This T-shirt that I've got on today looks like I'm in hospital scrubs, because it's got
it does.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, it's the way forward. I love how technology is progressing. How we can not just be on YouTube, we can also be on Spotify. Honestly, and while you're there, drop us a 5-star review on Spotify. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to give it a little subscribe, a little ring doorbell, so you can give us any notifications. Trust me,
can you get your words out today? Or
I can.
You can. All right. If you want to listen to the audio podcast, if you want us in your ears, if you want to take us on the road on the way up to Wembley, or even on the way back, you can do. All you need to do is head over to any main podcast provider: Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Google, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pandora, iHeart, wherever you get your podcast from, and search for the Squared Circle. And if you look for the logo that's in the top left-hand corner of your screen, if you're watching this, that's what you need to find. All right, I think we have done enough gassing, don't you? I think it's time that we open up the doors of the news round for some news of the week. All right, this is News Round. We've got some big news stories for you this week. Normally, we do the top 3 news headlines. However, it's a special week. We're going all in. How old is that going to get before the end of the show, right?
It's not.
Side note. Deonna Purrazzo last week, right? Did you hear the All In reference?
I think I did, but what was it? Because to make sure if I got it right.
She made a comment in the interview, and it wasn't anything to do with AEW, but she just went, you're all in. And it was just these 2 simple words, and I'm trying to go, please, no, don't react to it. Don't make a joke about it. Don't do this. But yes, all in. And if you're all in, brilliant. If you want to come and meet up with Sam and I, as you're going to find out throughout the show, check out the top of the screen, because we're doing an all-in meetup Sunday, August 27th at Wembley Stadium. We've now moved seats. More on that later. And we'll tell you where we're going to be. All right, so let's kick off with the news round, because WWE still has plans for NXT Europe. Now, it was only earlier this year that NXT UK was completely shut down. And last August announced that NXT UK would become NXT Europe in 2023. The brand of NXT UK was launched back in 2016. Now, the original plan was for it to go on hiatus for a few months before the relaunch, but that has yet to happen. As previously reported by various news sites, including Mr. Meltzer, plans for the launch of the new brand are on hold until the official acquisition by Endeavor, with the plan to merge with the UFC to form that new company, TKO. And the merger, we now know, is going to go through in a few weeks. Dave Meltzer noted on Observer Radio that he had heard the target launch timeframe for the brand is 2024. So my question to you, Sam, is this. Last week, we had quite a conversation about wrestling here in the UK. We talked about WWE coming over. We talked about Impact. We talked about AEW and New Japan, cost of living. NXT Europe, is it going to be, do you think, predominantly based here in the UK? Do you think it's going to be a touring brand? So Germany, Spain, Italy? And would you want to go and see an NXT Europe show if it was more regularly available here in the UK?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be So when it was in this country, before we had the whole lockdown situation, they did it where like some filmings were done in Sheffield, some were done in Blackpool, some were done in London, some were done in Southampton. They were in different areas. Then lockdown happened, and then they became very much just in the BT sports studio area. Then it kind of didn't move out of there. They just brought fans in when they could. So I think what it's going to be is I think they're going to be able to do a more regular show, almost weekly, instead of what they were doing with that, where they were pre-taping, and they were doing it where they were doing literally 4 or 5 episodes or 4 or 5 shows, block booking type of thing, but match after match after match after match after match, and then putting them out spread over time.
Yeah.
I think with this, they won't need to, because they could do, right, so this week they're going to be in Berlin. Next week, they're going to be in Zurich. The week after that, they're going to be in Florence. They're going to be Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and then they'll fly to London or Manchester. So they will go to different places, but they'll be able to, a bit like the European tour, they're able to go from one place to the next, and it's going to be so much easier because it's then going to highlight the different talent, both be it from England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, or you go to Germany, go to the fact that there's a massive, I mean massive wrestling scene in Italy. There's a massive wrestling scene with WXW in Germany. You've got the Portuguese Wrestling Society. You've got the guys in Spain. You've got people all around the world. And you look at the people. You've got Cesaro from Switzerland. You've got Gunther from Austria. You've got so many other people from all around Europe who have become big names. You then look back at it and go, they've come from those countries, and there's people coming from it even more. Look at Impact. You've got Killer Kelly, and it's all that Shida proof. She's from Germany, or even look at Malachi Black, one of the big names in AEW. He comes from Europe. He then based himself a lot in England, but he was also still in Europe. To have that base that's going to be so much talent. So it means, yeah, you may have your main people to bulk the main storylines. However, you can chuck in a match where it's England versus Italy or Germany versus no, that's not Russia. But
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Mention Russia. Yeah, no. Do you remember back in the day though? I think it was around I want to say 2004. I might be wrong. When Alex Shane did the World Cup of Wrestling. Do you remember that? The King of Europe Cup.
Yeah.
And it was done I think it was done in Sheffield or Coventry, one of the two. And basically you had performers from America, you had performers from Europe, you had performers from the UK, Australia, and they competed in this KOE tournament, this 1 night or 2 night tournament. We've also, very sadly, just seen the Lionesses lose the FIFA World Cup to Spain. We've got the Rugby World Cup kicking off in September. So would NXT Europe, do you think, would that do, as Triple H's referenced before, a professional wrestling World Cup? Could we see one being based on NXT Europe?
Well, it would be the Euros, wouldn't it? Or here's a better idea: AEW Europe, not AEW, WWE NXT Europe, 6 nations, 6 wrestlers from 6 different countries, and they're on a point system, bit like the old Bound for Glory tournament. Do it that way, and the person who gets it wins the tournament, gets a title shot at the champion.
We're only 30 minutes into the show, and already he can't get his words out. We're in trouble.
I'm too excited for All In.
Where are those E numbers from last week? All right, so that's NXT Europe. We will talk more on that as soon as we know more information. But it's going to be interesting to see who's on the roster. Let us know what you think on social media. Who do you think will be a part of NXT Europe? Any of the now released NXT UK talents would you bring back? Would you bring Rampage Brown back? Would you bring Johnny Storm? Do you think now is a time for Will Ospreay to get signed to WWE? We know his ex-fiancée, Brie Peasley, Blair Davenport, is now in NXT, creating waves, almost, number 1 contenders match next week in Fatal 4-Way. Is this an opportunity for them to sign Will Ospreay from under the nose of All Elite Wrestling? One European who is making big waves, and you've mentioned him earlier on, is Gunther. And Booker T gave his thoughts on a variety of topics on his Hall of Fame podcast. One of them was how he considers Gunther could become the greatest WWE Intercontinental Champion of all time if he becomes the longest reigning champion. Now, he's not far off it. He said on the podcast, I think so. I mean, he's got the record. He's got the record. He's got the resume to prove it. I think that, counts above all. I think championship rings, trump everything. So, yeah, I give gold. Gunther has been a hell of a champion. He's been a hell of a champion. He's a throwback. He's no flip all fists and love it. Yeah. So, what I've taken out of that, Sam, is Booker T went to the Vince Russo school of talking. But also Scott Steiner with a mass promo. But he's not wrong, is he? Because Gunther has really been on a rampage in WWE. You've predicted it at WrestleMania 40 is when he's going to get the WWE title. I kind of agree with you. Could he go down as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time?
I'm going to have to already disagree with Booker T because he is. I personally believe he is now the greatest IC champion of all time. My own personal opinion, the guy is consistent. The guy is undefeated. He's also the fact is, I don't think it needs, I obviously very much agree that once he gets to that point where he becomes the longest reigning, that lineage is going to be sky high. Don't get me wrong. And I truly believe, like we discussed before, I think potentially, and I wouldn't blame the creative team for doing this, that he doesn't drop the IC title till next year. And then he definitely is the longest running because he's only got, I think I sent you something the other day, and it was only about a matter of 16 days left until he beats Honky Tonk Man's. And I think to myself, if you look at the IC title, I've always loved the IC title. I do prefer its older look, the one that Cody Rhodes took away, as some people say. I don't currently think it's the best title looking title, but it's definitely not the worst. That's a US title, but that's by the by. But for me, he is more of an IC champion and the old school style as well, like Honky Tonk Man ever was. I'm not poo-pooing on Honky Tonk Man's legacy because yes, but he was a character. This man is superb, and but that's obviously my own personal opinion. Well, I also think he's yes, he has a character. He is a ring general, but by God, he doesn't even need a gimmick because he is that good.
Well, let's put it this way: the graphic that you sent me on Sunday detailed the top 3 Intercontinental Championship reigns. Now, bear in mind, this could have been released on Sunday. It could have been released earlier than that. So I can't give you the complete dates. Pedro Morales was number 3, 424 days. At the time that we got this graphic, it was stating Gunther was 436 days. The Honky Tonk Man was 453 days. Now, by the time we get to the end of September, he will pretty much, if not already, be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. And that brings me to another point, because we've already seen the New Day become the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. We have obviously seen Roman Reigns become the longest reigning WWE Champion in history. And now we're seeing Gunther become the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Is this a way for WWE to cancel out history and have everybody talking about this modern era being the best era of WWE?
I've got to agree. Yeah, it is. I don't want it to be, because I don't want it to feel like, oh, well, let's just try and put everyone in the title reign for longest. Let's now next do the US title or the tag title or stuff like that. We don't need to. I think for me, how I view it is, let's not try and do the longest reigns to beat the past. Let's do the longest reigns if someone deserves it. Gunther is the best choice to do it. Why? Because he is superb. I am a massive fan of him, but it works with him because it wouldn't work with, let's say, for instance, I love him, he's amazing, but if Santino Marella was in it, when he did that whole storyline that he wanted to beat the Honky Tonk Man's record, it was done in a different way. It was a comical way, kind of put laughs onto the IC title. I'm not one for laughs about the IC title. It's a legacy title in my mind. And I feel that to have that kind of as a joke, no. Use that for the US title. Use it for other titles. For me, don't keep trying to make it the longest. I hope they don't do this with Rey and have Rey Mysterio as the longest US title holder. It doesn't need it. I think, if anything, if you make a massive, too bigger a thing of it, it almost to the point where it kind of shadows on it. It's almost like you're not actually watching it for the wrestling. You're watching it of going, oh, is he going to be pinned? Or oh, is he going to be submitted? Or like on Monday Night's Raw, it was by count out. So he still kept the title. However, he lost. So I feel to myself, I do agree with what a lot of people say, that if he's going to lose it but he doesn't hold it till next year's WrestleMania, Chad Gable is the next best person to do it because it will help him like elevate his character. But that's the only reason why I think they should give it to someone else at the moment.
In fairness, I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think, obviously, it was a great match on Monday night with Chad Gable and Gunther. Yes, it was the count out. Payback is in a couple of weeks. I would imagine there's going to be some sort of a rematch there. But I think once he hits this longest reigning champion, that is a moment to transition that championship back over to Chad Gable, to give him the rub, because he's done amazing. Yeah. And it will further this storyline between Maxine and Ludwig Kaiser, again of Imperium. However, and we will move on to the last news story in just a second, do they actually mean anything, right? So, and what I mean by that is championships are, majority of people now will consider a championship to be a prop, right? If it's been booked well, it can mean something, but it is a prop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reigns, no pun intended, title reigns and day counts, etc., etc., etc. But does anybody really care unless you are a wrestling historian about the longevity of a title run?
Yeah, I think when you're two people who record weekly a wrestling podcast for the nation and for the world, we are people who are history buffs of when it comes to wrestling. So for us, we do think that, yes, it means something. For some other people, like you say, is it just a prop? I think if used right, it's not a prop. If it's used wrong, it is a prop. I'll be quite blunt and honest. That's why I think Money in the Bank needs to not be its own pay-per-view anymore. I think it needs to be given that time off, because at the moment it's becoming a bit of a jokey thing. It's a prop. Compared to, I think that someone working for that title, trying to keep going for that title, and they finally get it, it means something. Like if Xavier Woods, because he really wants to get the title, if he was to win that title, it means something. Or even go to Sheamus. If Sheamus wins it, it will mean the world to him, and it will go right in the storyline because of that. But then you give it to someone else, it may be completely seeming like a prop. Like the US title right now going to Rey Mysterio, how much is that of legacy or prop? So it depends on how the storyline goes.
That's quite simple. That's quite simple to answer. That's prop. That's prop because it's fueling a split of the Latino world order. That's what it's doing. It's fueling something between Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio, right?
Yeah, so it's for the break. It's ready to turn the middle.
Yeah, you're seeing that. You're clearly seeing that. All right, let's move on, because this Friday, WWE are returning to India for its first event in the country since 2017, as they hold the WWE Superstar Spectacle. It's an original name. That's taking place at GMC Balayogi Indoor Stadium, with John Cena being advertised to not only appear, but compete on the card. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, the Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley, who I must say, did you see the T-shirt? Because I thought the T-shirt was legendary. Monday Night Mammy.
Love that.
Raw logo.
Genius.
Beautiful. Undisputed Tag Team Champions Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, Gunther, Jinder Mahal, Veer Sangha, Drew McIntyre, The Man, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Matt Riddle, Ludwig Kaiser, and more. But what's interesting about this one, Sam, is the event is not going to air on Peacock, but it is going to air on the local Sony Sports Network in India. Now, we've said his name a few times already, but he is a renowned journalist. Dave Meltzer noted on the Observer Radio that the Indian market is the WWE's second biggest TV revenue stream behind the US. Let's just think about that. Second biggest TV revenue stream. But there are issues with drawing fans to shows and selling tickets, as attending sports event, bar cricket, is not within the Indian culture. Now, WWE have set the show up to cater for 3,500 to 4,000 fans. Meltzer noted the show isn't about selling tickets, but instead is being done because Sony is bringing them in and hosting the show to increase WWE's popularity in India. So, Mr. McMahon, Mr. Levesque, 3,500 to 4,000 seats, 85,000 seats. Who's a secondary promotion now, boy? But
So
I tell you what, I am going to get absolutely ripped by people on social media for that now, saying that I'm an AEW fanboy and it's completely different. But you know what? I don't care.
Because we're all in.
Oy.
No, I think for me is, I get it. I do get it. Like, listen, fans that are maybe listening to us from India. I love the fact that this show is happening. What I feel weird on is the whole setup of it, like that only this certain amount of seats and stuff like that. I think it's that interesting factor of when we've got people of the talent who are from India or from that part of the world, it's beautiful. Make them the main factor. If anything, it's a superstar spectacular. Make a big thing of it. Please don't have it where Jinder Mahal is now in a bit of a joking match or stuff like that. It was interesting also, someone made a massive point when the poster came out for it, was some of the names on the front page of it. One of them was Odyssey Jones, who was an NXT guy, got drafted. We haven't seen him on WWE programming, be it Raw or SmackDown, even though he was drafted to Raw. Yeah, he's on the poster. And there's other names that weren't. So it's very interesting when we see that. Don't get me wrong, I'm a massive Odyssey Jones fan. I can't wait for them actually finally to bring him up to main roster. And if they want to bring him up to main roster and tag team him with Bronson Reed, that'd be amazing, because that'd be one killer massive team. Yeah. However, my thing is, why do that? Because then it's kind of like, are we seeing this as a secondary pay-per-view? Because I want to use that terminology. But I think it is a completely different thing that, 3,000, 4,000 fans compared to 85,000. Can I just repeat? 85,000 minimum in attendance in Wembley for AEW All In this Sunday. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But honestly, I think for me, it is a very interesting talking point, and I think it's going to be good. Very interesting that they bring John Cena back, because I think it is. Now, are we just using him as a puppet for when we need big moments of, let's bring up Mr. Cena, Cena friend. No, don't think we need to. There's other people. Bring out LA Knight. He is the biggest name at the moment. Yeah. To be there, don't bring out someone. I'm not poo-pooing on John Cena. I love John Cena. However, I feel, are you just bringing him out now? Is it like bringing out a performing seal and go, right, there you go, perform a few tricks, bounce the ball on your nose, on your tail, boom, there you go, done, now put them inside. Or get the monkey with the two cymbals splashing together. Are we doing that, or are we actually bringing him out for a reason? There is no reason, because he's got no storyline. And I feel also, if you're going to do this type of show, do storyline linked into it. There's been no build-up to it. And I feel that's also harsh for the fans in India, because it's almost like, oh, it's just going to be a glorified house show, but it's going to be taped.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to know more about India and professional wrestling, check out the My World podcast with Jeff Jarrett, which is available across, all main podcast providers. In the archives, they did an episode about him setting up Ring Car King and all about Ring Car King. And the demand was there. It's fascinating. If you want to know more about the business, especially in India, check out this My World with Jeff Jarrett featuring Ring Car King. All right, that's it for News Round for this week. By the way, I will just say I agree with you completely on John Cena. Maybe that's a talking point for a few weeks.
Yeah.
The legacy of the Cena effect.
Can we see him or not?
Well, if you played WWE 2K23, apparently not. Right, let's go to this week in wrestling history. We have got a couple of, well, I say that. I can't. Oh, here it is. Let's go to this week in wrestling history. It's Rewind. See you in a sec. You know, it might actually make sense if I rename this segment Rewind instead of This Week in Wrestling History, because it totally confused me. And I even wrote the show plan. If you look at the show plan, people, which you can't, I even called it Rewind and in brackets, This Week in Wrestling History. I'm an idiot. All right, let's kick it off. We're going to go back to August the 21st, 2005, because SummerSlam took place at the MCI Center in Washington. It's notable for two things. Number one, Shawn Michaels facing Hulk Hogan in singles action for the first time. Hogan took the win in what proved to be a hugely comical encounter. And number two, as you can see on screen now, Rey Mysterio fought Eddie Guerrero in a ladder match with custody of Dominic as the prize.
What was also nice about that SummerSlam, it was nice that Vince McMahon gave me a pay-per-view for my birthday, on my 14th birthday.
You know, he could have followed it up every year afterwards, didn't he?
I know, right?
I know. You did get
change every day.
If you think about it, I saw a clip. Someone put a Facebook reel up the other day of Michaels selling in that Michaels Hogan match, and the comment that somebody put was, "This is old school attitude based Shawn Michaels making a one-off appearance." I don't know about you. I can't help but chuckle every time I see that. It's absolutely hilarious, that match.
Well, there's that classic thing, like when Shawn Michaels lost his smile. Like, no, he definitely didn't in that match. I can tell you that for sure.
He got it back. But
do you know what it honestly felt like with that match as well? Like, there was a video like where it's all like not sped up, but like they showed the highlights of it, and it was on TikTok, and it was how there's certain spots in it where you look at it and go, how much did they bet each other that they could do one up each other on a funny move or a funny moment? And it was almost like how much money was lost in that bet when they went back to the gorilla position, and it literally goes, and then it literally when the video ends, it's then Shane McMahon running around going, "Here comes the money," and it's true, because you think to yourself, there's got to have been something. I'm sorry, but there was a moment where you go to the end of the match and go, I smell tomfoolery.
I would just love to know what Vince's reaction was backstage when he came back, if this wasn't planned. But
spitting feathers much.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Now, Rey Mysterio as well for Eddie Guerrero. That was a great match, and it opened up SummerSlam. That was the opener. And let's put the graphic back up for a second, because how young is Dominic Mysterio?
Oh, it's before he got a mullet and grew a moustache.
Yeah. Okay.
He also had bleach in his hair, that style that it should never come back.
Well, at least he had hair, Sam.
Yeah, there was that.
I got told I looked like a convict this morning, so don't worry about it. Right. I want to pick one thing up, though, because how cool would it have been if, Bash at the Beach 2000, right, which was on that finale episode of Dark Side of the Ring, if that had been lined up, the dates were the same for SummerSlam 5 years later. Michaels just walks to the ring, lies down, gets pinned, stands up, and does a Jarrett and walks back out. You really would have laughed out loud. It would never.
Absolutely.
You would have laughed out loud. All right, the next thing in wrestling history, August the 22nd of 1999. We're going back to SummerSlam again. The main event saw Mankind defeat this champion Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H in a triple threat match officiated by Minnesota Governor, the Body, Jesse Ventura. This was SummerSlam, Highway to Hell. Elsewhere on the card, The Undertaker and The Big Show defeated Kane and X-Pac to win the Tag Team Championships. Jeff Jarrett defeated Jeff Jarrett beat D'Lo Brown to add the European title to the Intercontinental title he already possessed. Al Snow beat the Big Boss Man to win the Hardcore title. And Ken Shamrock defeated Steve Blackman in a Lion's Den match. Much easier for me to say, apparently not.
No, I think it was the pay-per-view was amazing. Like, not many of those matches do you actually look back and go, well, that was rubbish. You actually go back and go, well, that was awesome. The Lions Den match for me will always stick out because I loved it. I'm one of those people who marks out for that match instead of some people who poo-poo that match. I want the Brick. They should have had the Lions Den match for the Ronda versus Shayna match. Just saying.
We said that when we did the.
And I'll keep saying it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? There are certain SummerSlams where you go, I can't remember the entire card, but there are moments that you do remember, like 1997 Heart and Soul, the Undertaker Bret Hart, the Owen Hart Steve Austin neck break, 1988 with the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks, 1989 with Zeus making his debut playing that character from No Holds Barred, 1990 with Rick Rude and the Ultimate Warrior, all of these moments. 1992, if we're going to talk about Wembley with Brett and Owen, Brett and Davey, right the way through. There are just moments where you go, I knew where I was. I remember where I saw that match for the first time, right? Can't remember the rest of the card. But then you go, what is my Mount Rushmore of SummerSlam matches or my Mount Rushmore of WrestleMania matches? And that's when it gets tricky because you sit there and go, there are actually so many of them.
Yeah, there is.
But talking about Mount Rushmores, for any wrestling fan, this man should be on your Mount Rushmore because August the 25th, 1997, one of the founders of the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson, the Enforcer, formally announced his retirement from the ring. Now, unlike many, Terry Funk, Anderson never wrestled another match after this date because of the neck injury. And up to this point, Ric Flair, and to this day, Anderson has never competed again in the squared circle.
Yeah, he may have thrown a punch in part of a promo or something like that. He's never wrestled, but because he's amazing, he is amazing. He's, for me, one half of the greatest tag team of all time, the Brainbusters. No one can try and make me think otherwise. They are the greatest tag team of all time. Just like for me, the greatest wrestler of all time is Harley Race. That's for me the greatest wrestler of all time. A lot of people go, no, it's Ric Flair, or no, it's Stone Cold, or no, it's here, who's that on there, whoever. For me, Arn Anderson is one half of the greatest tag team of all time.
But this is why wrestling is so cool, right? Because you made a comment last week about, it's my opinion when we were talking about Heyman. My opinion is different as in mine, but who cares? Because there's no right or wrong opinion when it comes to professional wrestling, right? And it's the same with the Mount Rushmores. My 5 wrestling superstars is going to be totally different to yours. There might be some similar crossover, but there isn't. So let's put it to the challenge. 2 weeks' time, when we do Talking Point, we're going to do the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. Singles workers, any era, any company in history. Who are your top 5 that you would put on Mount Rushmore, and the reasons as to? All right, 4. I was given
Mount Rushmore is only 4 faces.
Okay,
unless you've seen them added a 5th for me.
I live in the UK. Okay, the top 4 that you would put on Mount Rushmore, and a bonus 5th one if we decided to knock another bit in the cliff.
Okay,
all right.
I'll add to that. I'll up you with that. We'll do our 5 Mount Rushmores. We'll also do a bit less, but 3 tag team if we did a tag team Mount Rushmore, because that's 6 faces.
Do you know what you got to do? Got to love this. We ain't even talked about it. It's just come on the fly when we were doing the show.
But so that's why we love doing this show.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks' time, Talking Point will be the Mount Rushmores of professional wrestling. And I want to know what you think. Who are your top 5 and top 3 tag teams? All the social medias are at the bottom of the screen now, right the way through the show. Everything is TSC Wrestling Pod, using the hashtag TSC Pod, and comment on YouTube. under the video and we will pick it up and we will put them, because we can put your comments directly onto the video, and we will do that. So let us know.
Absolutely.
All right. That was this week in wrestling history. Next up, before we hit All In, that's going to have a bit of a challenge. This was going to be me versus Lee. However, Lee, as you can see, unfortunately can't make it tonight because he's at Speedway. Go Pool Pirates. And check out Pirate Cast on YouTube and on podcast. Brilliant. If you're in Speedway, check it out. We'll put a link in the narrative. It's all about promoting other podcasts this week. So Sam has created a quiz. This is the AEW challenge. Let's see how badly I do. We'll see after this. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this. It was my idea to do a competition between Lee and I, right? Because we did it between Sam and Stefan when he was on the show. Sam lost by 1. How could you? So I gave Sam the opportunity to write the questions. And then when Lee couldn't make it, I agreed to do the challenge myself. So, yeah, you'll pay for this. Right, let's do it. Go on then. How is it running? Over to you.
Okay, so I'm going to have 10 questions. Some are going to be easy. Some are going to be hard. You don't know this until now, but for each question you get correct, another snack goes into the bag ready for the car on the way up to All In.
I'm playing for food.
It's how hard you want the extra snacks in there. Trust me.
Oh, God. Okay. All right.
Just so you know, fans, we're going up in the car together. It's going to be a load of fun. It's going to be on Road Agents, and you'll see if this man wins many prizes or only a few. So, your first question.
Well, no, in my luck, none. Right. Come on, then. Let's do it.
So, who was the first person to wrestle John Moxley in AEW?
Kenny Omega.
Incorrect.
Chris Jericho. Bloody hell.
Also incorrect. Everyone says Chris Jericho. It was Joey Janela.
What?
Yep. First person he ever wrestled in AEW was Joey Janela. Okay, so question number 2.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Who holds the longest title reign in AEW history?
Is that for the world title?
Any title.
Oh, nuts.
I'm giving clues.
What the hell does that mean? What? Why are you making a snake him? Why is he doing Santino Marella at the Cobra?
Muscles. Hair.
Oh, Jericho.
No.
Oh.
I'll give you one more chance.
Crikey.
Undefeated for a long while.
Oh, Wardlow.
No. Another snack, not one. Jade Cargill. 508 days.
I like
AEW.
I like AEW as well.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a name of an AEW wrestler. Yeah. I'm going to give you his real name.
Oh no.
Who is Austin Jenkins?
Oh, that is Luchasaurus.
No.
Oh, for the love of God!
I will give you a clue. He featured many weeks on TSW.
Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Yes, I got one. This is actually quite hard.
Yeah, I know, but some of the easy ones are coming. Okay. Like what is Jericho's favourite alcoholic beverage? And I want the exact quote.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Correct. There's an old segment we want to bring back to the show. Okay, so who was the first ever winner of the Casino Battle Royal match? He will be in attendance on Sunday.
I want to say the reigning AEW World Champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And I'm wrong,
Nope.
aren't I?
Yeah.
Is it Sammy Guevara?
No. It was Hangman Adam Page.
God, I suck at this game.
Okay. I thought you were going to absolutely smash this and get all 10. So listeners, I'm ever so sorry. I bet you listeners are going to be biting at the radio.
I used to be called the King of Wrestling Trivia back in the day. I'm old. All right, go on.
What year? Say again?
What question are we on?
6. What year was AEW founded?
2019.
Correct.
Yes.
So that's 3 so far.
Don't worry, I'm making a record of that.
Okay. Who unveiled the AEW World title?
That is WWE Hall of Famer, the legendary, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, the Hitman Bret Hart with Jack Whitehall.
It was. Yes, correct. Sorry. It's when we went with Jack Whitehall. It was like you were introducing him to stage.
It's like, you know what? I can't get some of the decent questions right, but I know that Jack Whitehall was at AEW.
Yeah, it was. So, including the pre-show, how many matches were all out last year?
10.
You were 1 out, and I'll give it to you because there's one match that was viewed. It's not. Yeah, it was 11. But I will give you that one because I'm kind because one match was viewed because of everything that went on.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have only 2 questions left.
All right.
Justin Howard, Gregory Marcirillo, may have pronounced that wrong, and James Kipley make up what trio tag team? That I'm obsessed with their theme.
Oh, best friends.
Correct. I'm being nice. Sorry, listeners. I'm just going to be nice because he's driving me. No. Yeah. Okay, so your last question.
It's a long walk to Wembley.
It is. It's a long way to Tipperary, or should I say Wembley. So if you don't get this one, I win all the treats because this one you repeatedly say, what is the tagline for AEW All In on Sunday?
We'll see you at the matches?
No, the tagline for the whole pay-per-view. Not our tagline. The tagline for the whole pay-per-view. It is the...
bugger. The biggest wrestling event in history or something.
Correct, Armando! Yeah.
All right, I got 7. Okay. Not bad.
So, I confirm to you guys, that is 7 Skittles. No, I'm joking. I'll make a decision between now and Sunday.
Is that 7 bags of Skittles or just 7 Skittles?
Individual Skittles. No, I'm joking, guys. So, like I said before, we are going to do the road agents, and you'll see what his prize is. I'll even make a big thing of it. All right. So that was a quiz. I thought this man was going to absolutely smash all 10 questions. Clearly not.
So did I.
Did you do better? Give us and let us know in the comments down below on YouTube. And then just let us know on social media. It's great fun to know, see who actually is better than Andy, who's our encyclopedia of all things wrestling knowledge.
You know, what I'm going to say to you is, karma comes back to haunt you.
Wasn't karma in WWE? Wasn't that Awesome Kong's name?
Okay, we're going to the event center. We're going to preview All In. See you after this. All right, here it is. The biggest event ever in professional wrestling. The biggest in history professional wrestling event takes place this Sunday live on pay-per-view. And you can watch it if you can't make it to Wembley on Fight. All you need to do is go in and order it, as my good buddy Glenn has done, and he told me. Now, All In is also going to be airing in the US, and Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast has shed light on how well All In is doing on pay-per-view. The historic event has 90,000 advanced pay-per-view buys in the US alone. That is not looking at international. The highest buy rate is 205,000, and that's for All In 2021 or All Out 2021. So it's a massive event, isn't it? And considering we've only started getting the card about 3 weeks ago on AEW TV, I think we have got a stacked All In card. However, is it going to be the card that we preview going to be what we see on Sunday? Because if you ask Tony Khan, the answer's no.
No.
So the media call last night took place with Tony Khan. We were on the call. We were listening in to what was happening. And he said that there are changes going to be coming to the All In planned card due to unplanned things happening in the real world that are unrelated to professional wrestling. He said, and we quote, "I expect more changes. They are not changes I wanted to make or I planned to make. I'm not talking about the World Championship match or even the World Tag Team title match." Of course, we'll touch on that when we get to that match in just a second. In some cases, stuff that's nobody's fault, but stuff that is also not related to the world of professional wrestling. Now, an update has come in on that. Rey Fénix is not going to be at All In. He is out of the card due to visa issues. He was scheduled to team, and we're going to talk about it in a second in the Stadium Stampede. He is still scheduled, however, to wrestle Moxley on Dynamite tonight, which will also serve as the go-home show for All In. So it's likely that Dynamite will feature some sort of angle to write Fénix off the card. However, I don't know what they're going to do with that Stadium Stampede match. I've got some ideas, and we'll touch on that when we get to it. But what changes do you think? What else do you think is going to be happening on this card? And Sam's no longer with me. This is good. Sam's disappeared. Where are you, Sam? Sam has crashed. Okay. Right. Let's okay. Let's go to break. We'll be back after this. All right, we are back, and hopefully Sam is back. So, Sam, who's your internet provider with?
EE.
EE. Yeah.
No, not much longer. Not much longer. Trust me.
EE extremely not enjoyable. Okay, that didn't really work. I asked you before we went to break.
No, it very much works.
I asked you before we went to break, and before you completely blanked me and just went on a frozen screen, because it's quite funny if you watch it back. There's rumors that matches are going to be changed. We've obviously talked about Rey Fénix. We'll touch more about that when we get to Stadium Stampede. What other matches do you think could be changed on the All In card?
I really don't know. Like, so when obviously we got that message for it, we saw it and we said it, so it's pretty much send it all simultaneously to each other. I find it very interesting because you're gonna have obviously not Rey Fénix in that match. Are we then gonna have Penta? Is Penta gonna be there, or are they gonna find two new people? Or is it one new person? Because one thing online, 1 minute goes from 6 men on each team to the next moment it's 5 men on each team. Who knows? So when it comes to Prediction League, we'll still try and make that prediction, but who knows?
Well, there is an easy way they could resolve the Stampede match, and that's to turn it into a 5-on-5. So that just means the BCC have got to find 2 partners instead of 3, and then they've just got to find one more partner for the best friends team. So that is a possibility, and that has been rumored on the dirt sheets to be happening.
Or as I sent to you, do a 3 versus 3 versus 3 match. Easy. You do it. House of Black versus Best Friends versus BCC. It's basically, if you think about it in a way, it's a trio tag team from each promotion. each not promotion, but each show, because they each feature at different points on each of the 3 shows. So it's a thought. But we'll have to wait and see. I think it's one of the ones that I'm going to look forward to, hoping that they don't actually say anything this week. And we're sat there in our seats, in our new seats that we'll talk about later on. And we're just going to be like, oh, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's going to be? Oh, my God! And we're going to lose our proverbials, because that's a family show, so we don't swear. So we're going to lose our proverbials. I hope they don't take away that surprise, because I like that surprise factor because I've seen rumours, and I'd also love it to be true, that it's Santana and Ortiz joining the BCC. Not actually joining the BCC, but being that 2 other people. That would be incredible, because then they've got their link to both the best friends and also Eddie Kingston. Or are they going to be the faces? Are they going to then join the best friends and Eddie Kingston because of their other link to them? Who knows? It would be very interesting to see. And that's where I feel so sorry for Ray Phoenix, because I'd love to see him live. I'm going to be a bit biased that I really hope Penta does still come, because I'm a massive Penta fan. I really want to see him live. I have been nearly gone to seen him live more than once before, but unfortunately couldn't for different reasons, being he then wasn't on the show, or I couldn't go to said shows. I want to finally see that man live. He is amazing. How he isn't in the title picture, I do not know of the main title. I think he deserves it. But we'll have to wait and see.
As we've been talking about Stadium Stampede, why don't we just do the prediction for it now? So let's kick off the All In predictions with the Stadium Stampede match. BCC plus whoever versus Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy from wherever, weighing whatever. Thanks, Justin Roberts. Facing off against the best friends, and another one to be confirmed. Who is going to win this match? And what are we expecting from it? How violent do you think this will be in Wembley?
So, reading up a lot about what people have said about this match, it's going to be a very interesting one, because obviously quite a lot of Stadium Stampedes they've done before, they've done pre-filmed sections. Are they going to do that before all the fans enter in at 3:30 when the doors open? Could do. Or are they going to film bits that are going to be done almost as soon as they arrive at the stadium? Or even as the stadium's being built right now, are they going to do stuff that could be done? We don't know, because unless it's released on being that, I don't know if they're going to do that. I hope they don't, because I think it should be all in front of the fans, because especially they're making a big thing of it. I found it very interesting as well that this match is on the card, but I think it's going to be awesome. We're also in a section that they can come up to from the ring. Just going to say,
I know. To be honest, for me, I think if they don't do this match on the card, the entire thing, you are going to have 80 plus thousand fans just going absolutely. I broke my pen, going absolutely crazy because that's happened. I think it's because we don't see it very often, and because this is the first time they've come to the UK. They are going to go all out. Oh, sorry, no, that's the following week. They are going to go all in with this. So who are you predicting? I mean, first off, you've mentioned Ortiz and Santana as possible the 2 for the BCC. I think that's a good shout. I'm genuinely trying to think who it would be. The only other person I did think would be, as he's going to be in the UK, I know he's not technically medically cleared, but they could keep him nice and out of the match, is the American Dragon Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, so that's that. He's the factor that I could see being because if you look at it, you could have Pac joining Penta and Eddie Kingston, that lot, but is he fully cleared? So who knows? And that they could also be. He's not. So that's the thing. You can't have him, but you could have Danielson. That's why my prediction is the BCC team, whoever the extra people are, they're going to be the winners, because Bryan Danielson could easily be there, still in the match, but throwing a few kendo shots, taking a few shots on the areas of his body that aren't injured. Just don't do massive bumps, don't do massive things. It's going to be difficult, but people have done it before. Look at Seth Rollins right now. He is working he's worked for the last 4 years with a spinal injury, yet he's still carrying on. He's still doing massive matches. Just the thing with the added pressure with Danielson is his past medical history.
Yeah, but it is a broken arm. it's a broken arm. It's not a concussion. It's not a head injury. You can swing a kendo stick in the other arm.
Also,
Or do you know what you could do?
stick it to your kendo, stick it to the cast.
Yeah, but you
Bob
could
Orton did it for years.
Yeah, send Brie out.
Oh no.
No, send Brianna out, and she could get kendo stick to the head.
Oh.
Not by Orange Cassidy or the best friends though. All right, so you're going for the BCC. I think it's BCC. I'm really intrigued to find out what the crowd reaction's like for the Blackpool Combat Club, because I think Moxley is going to go nuts. They are going to have a massive reaction for John Moxley.
I will say this about every match. I don't think we're going to hear many boos. Not that we hear boos any day because it's not Panto, but we're not going to be here. I don't think we're going to hear the whole factor. I think we're going to hear cheers for the faces and the heels, because people are going to be buzzing for the fact of people being in the stadium.
I think there's one match that might go against the grain for that, and we'll talk about it in a second.
Oh yeah.
So you're going BCC, I'm going BCC. Let's give you an update on the new Prediction League standings, because we re-kicked it off again at SummerSlam. Currently, Sam has 5 and I have 7. Just going to say. Right, the first match that we are going to officially preview, Buzz Stadium Stampede, is on 0 hour. It's the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, Aussie Open, facing off against Better Than You, Bebe. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to give it to Better Than You, baby. Oh God, why don't you can't agree with me?
No. Don't you worry. I think Better Than You, baby, is going to win, but they're going to win the titles, because then that puts more pressure on the factor of the facing each other later on the night.
Yeah.
Yes, we may come up with the same answers, but trust me, there's other matches I don't think we are. I've got some up and coming matches that I don't think are going to be like the same answers as each other.
Well, it'll be interesting.
But yeah, I love Aussie Open. I think they're amazing. The only reason why they will win this match is if one of the other wrestlers, as in out of Better Than You, baby, screw each other in the match, almost
which I'm predicting Adam Cole.
Mm.
But let's be honest, though, there could be a change to this match.
Oh yeah, this could be not Aussie Open.
This could be the Hardy Boys.
And if it is the Hardy Boys, I'm gutted. No offense, Aussie Open, but I'm gutted this is not main card.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if they will drop the titles to the Hardys. And I don't know if Jeff can actually come over to the UK.
I thought he could.
No, it's in Canada he can't go to.
Yeah, but he definitely can't go to Canada. But I think he's okay with the UK, but we'll have to wait and see.
But we'll find out tonight on Dynamite, so this could be changing. If, however, it is the Hardy Boys versus Better Than You, baby, would you change your prediction? Would you go? Because we'll do a bonus point. We'll do a what if. If it's the Hardys versus Better Than You, would you still go with Better Than You?
No, I would still go with Better Than You.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I think if the Hardy Boys won it tonight, they're winning it just to lose it at thing, because then it's just a spectacle. But I no offense to Hardy Boys, but I hope the Hardy Boys lose, because I really, really want to see Aussie Open versus Better Than You, baby. Because I think it's going to be an amazing match, and they're so deserving of it as well. And they're also got a massive British following thanks to Progress, thanks to Rev Pro, thanks to ICW, thanks to so many other promotions as well. Like, they are loved, and I think, no offense to Hardy Boys, but they could, if they're allowed over this country, they could easily be chucked into the the Stampede match. That's easy. They've got history with all those different wrestlers, but I hope they don't become the 0 hour match.
I can't see it happening, because I will imagine that Aussie Open will be a part of another match coming up later on as part of the United Empire.
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
talk about that in just a second. All right, let's go to the main card. So let's kick it off with this one. Sting and Darby Allin facing off against AR Fox and Swerve Strickland. This is the Coffin Match. I love the fact that they haven't called it a casket match. Play on WWE. It is a coffin match. The interesting X factor about this one is Sting, because we've seen Joker Sting come out to AEW. He was on Collision.
Yeah.
I am excited to see this. I was getting a bit stale of Sting. You know, I was thinking Sting is, it's Sting. Joker Sting, love him. Love it. I love the character. Love the way he does the craziness. Darby Allin is going to get, in my opinion, one of the biggest pops of the night. This, because of what's happening at All Out, isn't going to be as straightforward as everybody thinks.
Nope.
There's going to be an instant classic making an appearance.
So I believe AR Fox and Swerve Strickland are going to win this match.
Okay.
Thanks to a Joker Sting, and it was only because of the Joker Sting that I've made this decision. Joker Sting will screw Darby Allin and turn heel, make Darby Allin even more of a face than he already is, and it will then go into them having a massive storyline leading up to their match against each other, because I think Sting is going to retire in a match against Darby Allin, and Darby Allin will win that match eventually. But I think, and another reason why I think it's Coffin is because they're in England, and we call them coffins over here, not caskets in like in America. I think AR Fox and Swerve Strickland are going to win. That's my prediction.
Okay, so you've gone with AR and Swerve.
I don't mind either way, personally.
No, I don't. I am going to go with Sting and Darby Allin. I will say this. I love your idea because Sting has already said that the person who will retire him will be Darby Allin. That's going to be the match, right? And Darby Allin needs
it. Crowd reaction. We are going to lose our proverbials like there's no tomorrow when he screws him.
Do you know what? I'm actually gutted that we don't have a singles match between Sting and Darby Allin. We don't have the retirement match here in the All In, the most historic wrestling event in history, with one of the most historic retirements in history. And we're not getting it. That's disappointing. For me, though, I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I think All Out is obviously a big place. They want to build this storyline more. Whatever happens tonight and on Saturday on Collision is going to be interesting. But I reckon we are going to get an appearance by Christian Cage and Luchasaurus.
Oh, yes,
because
please.
That will set up even more next the following Sunday at All Out, when the TNT title is going to be on the line. And realistically, you've got to think the TNT title will be the main event of All Out, because they can't be putting the world title back on again 7 days after whatever happens at All In. So you're going to want to set it up in this event, and you'll want to go all out. And that is Luchasaurus and Christian Cage making an appearance. They can shoot the angle on Collision, and they can follow it up on All In.
Absolutely. I think it's one of those things that I would love personally. This might me personally. I would love for it to be the screw at All In, because it makes a massive spectacle. But if it's not, I understand why they're not. That makes sense.
Yeah. Wait 7 days. The screw could happen it All Out. I don't disagree with you. I think the screw will happen. But imagine if Sting costs Darby Allin the TNT title.
Yeah.
I think that's got more impact than this match.
This is my argument. It's a coffin match. He does the coffin drop. Like, if he wants to come and see us in our seats, well, I'm sure I can bring in some coffin drops for him if he needs a coffin drops for his cough and that. Oh, sorry, it's a coffin drop. Not sorry.
Moving on. Moving swiftly on. So the first of the two singles matches on this card at the moment. And I say that like I know what's going to happen. I really haven't got a clue. The first of the three singles matches, on this card. I think there'll be another one, but I'm just guessing. It's Chris Jericho, the Oko, facing off against the IWGP US champion, the Rev Pro champion, the 1PW champion, the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay.
He's the IW, UK champion. He's changed the title.
Right. Officially, New Japan still recognize it as the IWGP US Championship. Okay. So until New Japan change it on the website, it's US, and Will Ospreay's full of crap. I love Will Ospreay. I do love Will Ospreay. He's brilliant. I've got a lot of time for Will Ospreay. Great guy.
Yeah.
The Oko versus Will Ospreay. What do we think? This is the potential to be an absolute slobber knocker.
Oh, this is it. This is a clinic. This is already booked in. They're going to have to see a doctor afterwards because it's going to be a massive clinic. This is going to be a scarecrow because it's going to stand out in its field. Literally, I can't wait for this match. I'm going to pop for both guys. The fact that we're going to get Fozzy playing the music to the ring, incredible for Judas. The fact that Will Ospreay's going to come out to the ring and realistically will have the United Empire, the United Empire with him, incredible. Especially as those guys are so loved in England. I think for me, I am going to do the obvious, Will Ospreay win, but I'm not doing it because he's British. I'm doing it because it's adding to the character of Jericho, almost like breaking down. He's breaking more and more, and we're going to soon get the new character of Jericho. That's
Okay.
why I think he's, because the fact of he's now thought he was going to be joining John Callis, wrong. He's lost the Jericho Association Society because he thought he was the best, wrong. Like all these things, it's going to build and build and build and build, and finally we're going to maybe, because you can also tell. We talked about this on a previous show. When he's been heel, he's bigger. Like he has a bit more weight to him. When he's face, he slims down. He's much more slim recently. So I have this image. He'll lose this match. We won't see him for a while because there's a Fozzy tour on. What a surprise. He did the same in WWE. He then takes a little bit of time off and he comes back with maybe short hair or whatever, this whole new look. And then it's a whole new character.
Does he come out with a light up jacket in the list?
Honestly, I'll lose my shit. Excuse me, my proverbial. Sorry, family out there listening.
See, that's interesting because you said I'm going to go with the obvious here, and I instantly assumed you would go how I would go, Jericho. Because, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because I get your logic with this. I get Will Ospreay. I get it, right? This is Chris Jericho. This is the Oko. Yeah, This is the guy that is going to be standing in front of 85,000 fans performing Judas live. This is going to be a viral moment where 85,000 fans, and I'm going to keep saying it, are singing with their camera phones and their torches on Judas, right? He is not going to lose this match. They are not going to book Jericho to lose this match. And I also think you've got an X factor here. Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, there is that.
So yeah, I'm going Jericho. I think it's it. Oh, this is one we don't agree on.
But the fact is also, and there's our second one we've not agreed on. The factor also is, I think that's why he's been given the allowance to have Fozzy play.
Yeah,
Fozzy play, you get the loss. Fozzy, you get if you want the win, you don't get Fozzy to play.
Well, Fozzy are over here. So actually, I don't know, because Fozzy are over here anyway. So I think it makes sense. It's a nice little tie-in. I just can't see. And okay, this is the smart fan coming out. This is Jericho, right? This is Mr. Egotistical. This is Mr. Chris Jericho. This is Mr. I've been in this business for 30 odd years, former multi-time world champion, man who is apparently the founder of All Elite Wrestling. I cannot see him wanting to come into Wembley and put Will Ospreay over.
There is also the fact of I'd understand if he won, is the fact that we don't know how much long he's got left, how much long he's planning to wrestle. He might be actually, I want this to have his maybe part of my farewell tour without making a big thing of it. I want to wrestle in England one more time.
Yeah.
So.
But who knows? Again, we're previewing this on Wednesday. We've still got Dynamite, we've still got a Rampage, and we've still got a Collision that are all being taped tonight. So anything can happen in the next 72 hours before we get to All In.
Can we just appreciate that? The fact they're all being filmed tonight, the fans in attendance tonight are going to be almost like their own little pay-per-view. Just imagine if they were avid fans and they were there tonight, they're on Sunday, and they're on the following week all out. They are going to be burnt out by All In and All Out. That's all about.
I ain't fussed. I would love it if I was there.
I would be fussed too, but it would be burnt
out. Yeah. All right, so you're going Jericho. You've gone Ospreay. I'm going Jericho. The next match, I think, is very clear. We will both be going for the same one because it's the Real World Championship on the line. It's CM Punk, or the Golden Vampire, I think he called himself on Collision this past week, facing off against the Ring of Honor television champion, Samoa Joe. This is like you're salivating at this match. This is also the match where I think you will hear boos.
Yeah, there is that.
CM Punk.
Yeah. CM sucks.
There is already a fan petition on Facebook and one of the AEW All In groups about, can we get this going? Are we going to boo CM Punk? What's the deal here? You know.
Yeah. I've seen it by people saying on X, saying, let's start the CM sucks chant, which I thought was quite funny. So we'll wait and see. But if anything, we're going to hear it even more now in our new seats, which we'll talk about that later on.
We'll talk about it in a minute. But I will be, if that chant does happen, I will be chanting CM sucks.
Yeah. Same.
What I do hope is one half of the crowd goes CM sucks and the other half goes Cena. CM sucks. Cena. CM sucks. Sorry.
Oh, you know there's going to be lots of yeahs and woos and Cena.
Oh, yeah, of course there is. It's a very bad joke.
Also, it's going to be the great thing where you've got to remember throughout the whole of this show, and we'll talk about it on Road Agents, we'll talk about on the comeback next week. We're in a UK crowd. We have seen before, and we will see again how us UK guys do chants better than anyone else in the world. We are, to quote CM Punk, we are best in the world.
We are, the UK crowd is like a Chicago. It is like a Chicago or New York crowd. Yeah, but it's rabid. It's like that. Okay, so I've gone CM Punk. I'm just assuming here you're going to go CM Punk to retain. So
I'm a massive Samoa Joe fan, but CM Punk to retain.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily mean CM Punk will win the match, though.
No. I think he's going to. I think it's going to be that situation, that the fact that he is going to win from some foolery and a bit of screwiness. But yeah. Also, a side note, you said about the Golden Vampire. A lot of people are saying online. Obviously, we don't know how much this is true, but a lot of speculation is he was a Golden Vampire because of Edge, because of the Conquistadors with the goldenness, and also the fact of Edge was in the Brood. So there's a lot of speculation that's why he was the Golden Vampire. It was kind of a tip of the hat to his old friend Edge.
Yeah.
But if that's true, that's awesome. Well done, CM Punk. If not, it was an awesome costume.
Well,
and so obvious him.
I think it's fair to say that Corner is all elite. Right, let us go to the next match. It's trios. It's the Golden Elite. It's Kenny Omega, Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi facing off against Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay White and Juice Robinson, and Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita. I can't ever say that. Takeshita.
Hey, Macarena.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like when you say it.
It is. Hey, Takeshita. For me, this is a no-brainer. This is the Golden Elite all the way through, right?
Yeah.
My only disappointment about this one is that we haven't got Kenny Omega in a one-on-one singles match. But actually, this is WrestleMania booking, right? Multi-man tag matches. This is what they do to get the people on the card. So it's Golden Elite for me.
So I would love to see the Bullet Club win if it was against anyone else. But for me, it's the Golden Elite. To see Kenny Omega win, I will lose my proverbial. I can't wait.
You've said that a lot tonight.
Because we're a family show, I can't say the other word that I actually slipped. And it's not going to be said.
All right. So now we're into the home stretch, the 3 championships. What I said on Mike's show is a triple main event showing for All In. I was going to say for All Elite, for All In. Let's kick it off with this one. The World Tag Team titles. FTR defending against Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. The proverbial here, Cash Wheeler. So the incident happened in July. We know that. We don't know much more details. We do know that he can travel. We do know the passport's not been taken away. And we do know this match is still going on. But is this going to impact the result of the match? Because I think it's fair to say FTR would have been walking out of All In, the World Tag Team Champions. I think they're going to make some sort of booking call on this, and I can see them dropping the belts to the Young Bucks just until they know what's going on with Cash Wheeler. So my prediction is the Young Bucks.
So I have to actually disagree. I'm going to say the FTR. Do you know why? And since us discussing our off show, we discussed it and that lot. I think it would be too much making a big thing of the situation if we I'd love it for the Young Bucks to win. If I was just going to pick the Young Bucks to win, if there wasn't this whole situation going on, I think if you give it to Young Bucks now, we're all going to be automatically poo-pooing on FTR, which are an incredible tag team. We don't know what really went on. We have what the speculation is, what the rumours are. We weren't there in the situation. We actually haven't also seen the full police report and all stuff like that. I think FTR are retaining, but this match, I think is maybe going to have a stipulation added to it, or something like that in the next 3 shows, or tonight, should I say?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to lose it.
I will say this. I think any changes to the All In card will happen tonight, and that's because Dynamite is shown on Friday. Collision is not shown until Tuesday. So if they've got any sense, anything will happen tonight on Dynamite.
So did you say that Collision's not being shown until Tuesday?
In the UK, Collision doesn't get shown until Tuesdays.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, I thought you meant they're going to not put it on until Tuesday. I was thinking, that's going to be really weird booking how they're going to put that one and not give up spoilers.
Collision on ITV is not shown until Tuesday. It is shown on AEW on Fight on the Fight Pass, but not on ITV. So you've got to make a judgment call here. Your bigger audience want to wait till Tuesday.
I think personally, we're going to see FTR retain, and that's a mixture of reasons. I think they are the winners anyway. But I think because of the situation that's going on, I think if you were to take off them for that reason alone, you're making a big thing of it. Until it needs to be, don't make a big thing of it. You could easily do it at All Out. That's when they lose the titles. But that's my own personal opinion.
Okay. No opinions are wrong.
Like we said before, no opinions are wrong unless it's a talk about certain wrestlers of history. But yeah,
no opinion is wrong, Sam, except for your prediction on this match.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm going to be sitting next to you going ha 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 when FT.
I tell you what. We will film it. Whatever happens to the outcome of this match, we will live stream it. And all right. Next up, the AEW Women's Championship is fatal 4-way action. The UK's own Saraya facing off against Toni Storm, facing off against Britt Baker, DDS, facing off against the defending champion Hikaru Shida. There is only one outcome in this match. Britt Baker to walk out of Wembley. No, Saraya to walk out of Wembley Stadium as the AEW Women's Champion. In my opinion.
No, I agree. If she doesn't, there will be a chant, and if it's not started by anyone else, it'll be started by me. It will say Tony Khan sucks. Why? Because there should be no other winner in this match than Saraya, unless we had Jamie in this match. This match, I still feel, if we had Jamie Hayter not injured, it was going to be Saraya versus Jamie Hayter.
I still think you'll see Jamie at All In. I really do. I think she'll come out with Britt.
Yeah, and you know what would be awesome? If she screwed Britt, screwed Toni, screwed the other lady I don't want to pronounce wrong.
Shida.
And she helps Jamie. She helps Saraya. Saraya then leaves the Outcasts and joins the thing, almost like a British Babes or whatever they call them. No, I think it'd be awesome. Saraya and Jamie Hayter in a tag team. That'd be incredible.
They won't do anything. They won't do anything with Jamie at the moment because of the injury. What would be interesting would be to see if Ruby Soho comes out with the Outcasts.
Yeah.
Because you haven't seen her really. So you're going Saraya.
I hope they don't come out together. I want Toni come out to her music. I want Saraya coming out to her music. I don't want it to come out as a tag team because you're not in a tag team. You're going against each other.
I think they will. I think they will come out separately because they're going to want that crowd reaction for Saraya, and you're not going to get that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
She comes out as a tag team.
No, she needs to come out separately.
That's what I'm saying. She'll come out separately.
Yeah. I really hope they don't bring them out together because I think it'll be poo-poo.
I know it's rare, but I'm agreeing with you. Okay. Oh, this is it. Main event time. AEW World Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman facing off against his best friend Adam Cole for the AEW Championship. A lot of people are going, "Oh yeah, everybody is saying this is a foregone conclusion. This is Adam Cole walking out of All In as the world champion." I will just say this, and I said this on the Maguire podcast this past week. When All In was first announced, I said it will be MJF defending against Adam Cole for the World Championship. And Adam Cole will walk out of Wembley Stadium as the new All Elite World Champion. So if I go against that, I am a hypocrite. So my prediction was actually done back in June. So I'm going Adam Cole.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I don't want to be that. But I truly believe that any other way, I don't think it's right. And I think also it doesn't hurt MJF. I think
Not now, it doesn't.
No. If it was done earlier on, yeah, it would have. But now, and especially with the build-up for this match, the factor in the tag team match, and I think they are leaving Wembley as tag team partners and tag team champions of the ROH titles. But we're then going to have the factor of one of them is going to leave the title, but not the person who walks in.
I'll tell you what, I don't see that happening. So I don't see them winning the World Tag Team titles, even though I've put Better Than You, Baby. Well, I think they will, but I think they'll then vacate them, right?
Oh, straight away?
Yeah. Once this match is done. Because what you'll get is they will be all buddy nicely and all that type of thing until the main event. The main event, you will have a Brett Stone Cold turn.
Yeah.
Austin, who was the heel, went face. Brett was the face. He went heel. You're going to get MJF going face. That reaction that MJF is getting is huge at the moment. Still got a little bit of the better the devil. You know, can't beat the devil. And then you got Adam Cole, who came this close to super kicking MJF on Monday night on Dynamite this couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. No, so, we agree.
All right, that's it. That's the all-in preview. Current card. I'm also predicting Jeff Jarrett versus Grado, by the way, because I don't think they're going to miss out on 85,000 fans singing "Living Like a Prayer."
And can I also, I predict we're going to see House of Black in some form at the show.
Well, yeah, I was going to say I think they've been. The problem is if you didn't have All Out the following week, I would have said.
I'm not saying in the match. I'm saying unless they're put in a match, I think they could appear just to do like a taking out of someone or something like that.
Possibly.
Because just imagine though, we've got all the lights later on in the evening. The lights are lighting the ring and that lot. The whole of Wembley suddenly goes dark. No lights.
Yeah.
Boom! They hit the ring.
Yeah, but I think if we didn't have All Out the following week, you would have had the House of Black versus the Acclaimed with a returning Daddy Ass.
Absolutely.
And you still might get
Acclaimed, but you could have the Acclaimed doing a promo in the ring, doing one of their songs because fans love them. You then have the House of Black attack them. Amazing! It's a spectacle.
You could still have that, but you don't want to book too much on All In because you're taking it away from All Out. You've still got Myro, you've still got Andrade El Idolo, you've still got a lot of talent that Ricky Starks hasn't even been mentioned on this card. I mean, he can't wrestle, but he can manage. He hasn't even been. He's going to come out with Samoa Joe. I think that's a given.
Yeah, we don't want to clutch the flush though.
No, we don't want a WrestleMania 17 main event finish. However, though, what you will be getting next week, not only will you get our review of All In, you're also going to get Road Agents, which thanks to Lee for this very comical graphic. I will say my car is red, not blue, because it matches.
You wouldn't be able to see our logo on it.
All right, shut up. No one can see the logo on it now because I've made it small. Road Agents will debut next week exclusively on YouTube, which is going to be a lot of vlogs and video casts on our way up to Wembley Stadium, most likely in Box Park, most likely when we're having our dinner, when we're in the event, when we come out of the event at the break, and how as many people as we can speak to about All In. And if you're sat next to us, we want to speak to you too. If you're sat next to us and you are a TSC listener, you would have listened to this, you would know, come and grab us because we've had a major win. New seats have been released now. You can now be in the 200 block for the same price as if you were in the God seats. So we upgraded and we're now in the 200 block.
We are literally within, I'm not going to, but I could throw I probably would, because I've got good throw on me, I could probably throw something to hit the ring. I'm not going to. Don't worry, AEW, I'm not going to. but we literally, and we might, because we're going to be behind the entrance ramp, we could potentially be seen on camera. So I'm still trying to work out what exactly I'm going to do to make myself so known on the screen.
Oh,
My brother
God,
wore
no.
his fluorescent what's it called Tottenham Hotspur's t-shirt to WrestleMania 32, and you see him when Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, held up the IC title when he won it in the ladder match. You see Matt, my brother. So I'm thinking of something, but yeah, we'll wait and see. But no, literally, guys, we're going to film as much as we can, much as we want. And if you guys see us and you see our face and you're like, oh, you guys are from the Total Square, the Squared, oh my
The what?
God. The Squared
what?
Circle podcast, sorry, is a long day. You see us and you go, guys. Firstly, we've got some beautiful flyers that Andy will talk about in a bit. I'm sure you will, because you'll want to promote them. But we are happy to have a discussion with you. And if you guys are happy enough to be filmed, we'll discuss stuff with you on camera. We'd love to have your interaction. If you see us anywhere around the stadium or Box Park, come take a photo, come have a chat. You can feature on a Road Agents and you'll be able to see yourself on our show next week. This isn't going to be just a one-off thing. This is going to be our first Road Agent episode, and it's going to be bloody well awesome.
Now, if you also see the flyers around the arena as well, then, take a flyer, because we will be giving them out. I'm just trying to see if I can find the things, and I will try and print one out. But we have got new flyers promoting the Square Circle, and yeah, they do look beautiful. I love them to bits. So yeah, do you know what? I genuinely can't wait. The closer we're getting now to All In, the more excited I am, because All In is just it just feels great to be a member, to be a part of history, and to think that we're actually going to be there 31 years after SummerSlam, the biggest wrestling event in the UK, and now we're going to be a part of the biggest wrestling event in the world ever.
It's also going to be the first wrestling show at the new Wembley.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be the first of many. And I mean many, 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 many. Ooh.
So you can see on screen there on your flyers. So you'll see those around Wembley.
Look at that.
Yeah. Right, that is it. We're going to wrap up the show. We'll be back next week with, it's going to be a big one, folks. All In review in Road to 5 Star, the event center with All Out preview. I just want to get my dates right, because I think it's Payback weekend as well. It's Payback weekend as well. So we'll also be covering Payback. All of that next week on this show. Thank you to everybody for joining us, for listening, for watching. Thanks for your coverage of Deonna Purrazzo. Thanks for watching the Heyman Show. Thanks for your comments. Had some really fantastic comments over the last couple of weeks. And thank you as well to YouTube subscribers, because I'm just going to do the count. We have jumped up in terms of our YouTube channel, in terms of our YouTube subscribers. We are 8 away from 600. So, yeah, I really hope we get to 600.
If you're listening on Spotify, jump over to YouTube, give us a little subscribe. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to subscribe to these two wonderful fans of wrestling? We literally love you guys, and you guys love us. Show us the affection by giving us a little subscribe.
Hang on, that sounds really weird.
How?
Because we don't know that they love us.
Why wouldn't you love us?
My wife loves me. Your wife loves you.
Okay.
That almost went wrong. It could have been loves me, but we don't know. So
you know what I mean.
All right, that's it. We will see you next week. We will see you on Sunday at Wembley Stadium for All In. If you're in the Box Park, if you're in the Global Buffet around 2:00, we're going to be there as well. So come and see us. We will see you next week. Until then, Sam, you're not nicking my line this week. We'll see you at the matches. So long, guys. Take care.